Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we?
I is very well. How is everyone else this morning? Mac, how are you?
I'm good. I felt a bit groggy this morning on the school run, but the fresh walk did me good. Cleared the sinuses out, so all good. How are you? How's your week? Are we going well?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Another week, which is absolutely crazy. The weeks are flying by. But, we just keep cracking on, moving on. Progress is the key. That's what we like.
Indeed. It is indeed.
We've got a few people in the house this morning.
There's a fair few in the house, isn't there? Fair few. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a hot minute. So
Definitely been a minute, mate. We've obviously missed a few breakfast shows this past couple of weeks. But as always, in true Royal Breakfast Show fashion, we're back.
Wing It Wednesday.
We're back. Wing It Wednesday. We've got a clear winner in the house this morning, early bird.
We have
And that
on
was
his own.
Luke Randall.
Well done, Luke. Well done,
Good
Luke.
morning. In at 9:24, followed very closely at 9:25 by Lynn, then followed in third place was Steve Walker. Good morning. Well,
How are we all?
I think everyone's looking good. Cracking on from that. Let's say hello to everyone. We got MJ Logo and Designs. We got CLC Pythons. We got X Balls. We got Mrs. Mac. Should be in a meeting, but she's out and about. We got Ian at Eyeballs, Phil Lawrence. We've got Eden Morse, Jay Green, Paul at PMC. We got Chris Barber. We got who else have we got? Did I see Euler and Greg from Reps Becoming Pets? Robbie's talking TS. Groner. I think that's everyone so far. 19 people in the house. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it's been hot, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been muggy. It's been horrible. It's been blur.
How's the season going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We are slowly starting to get eggs hatch. I was up quite late last night doing some editing because Dan, who normally does the editing for me, he's absolutely snowed under. Dan over at Resolution Royals. So he snowed under, so I brushed off the old editing program and did a bit of editing. So it was nice. I enjoy editing, I'm not going to lie, but Dan was much better at it than me. But we all can't be good at everything, can we? Let's face it.
No, we cannot.
So how's your week been so far?
It's been all right. It's been all right. It's Wednesday, happy hump day. We're there, halfway there. So that's good. Had another power cut last night. There's 4 power cuts in 3 weeks. So it's got me on edge for my eggs. I've got 2 clutches of eggs in the incubator. And I think in total, they've had probably 16 hours without heat.
Wow.
So
they should be all right.
And the incubator is well insulated. I took the time that when we built it. The room is maintained as well. Excuse me. Yeah. So when we do have a power cut, we don't go in that room. So we maintain that environment. So my fingers are crossed that
it'll be all right.
So we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait for pipping. So I've got a clutch due on I can't remember if it's the 5th or the 9th of July that's due to pip, and another clutch on the 12th. I think it's the 5th and the 12th. So I will wait for those to pip naturally, hopefully. And we'll take them there. But, I've got 17 eggs up there, and they all look good. They're still nice, still white, still nice and plump.
Good. That's what we like. A couple of people have jumped in. Hash Hanley's Hatchlings. Good morning. We've got Pete Frost. We've got Dale Stevens, Enrock Royals. We've got Sean over at Smooth Balls.
Hey! Small balls!
I didn't say small balls. I said smooth balls. But now every time I go to say smooth balls, it kicks in. So apologise, Sean. Playing Chris Royals. Good evening. So Mrs. Matt can confirm it's the 5th of July.
See, one of us is switched on.
It pays to be switched on sometimes, and yeah.
Well, it's her job to keep me on the straight and narrow, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We got
Gosh is here from LJ and Noah TV.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So
Jason's back.
Yeah, bit of a weird one because I'm releasing a few videos. One's going to be released tonight. One's going to be released tomorrow. I've also got one lined up for next week as well. But it's the next clutch I've got to hatch is a bang het clown to a bang het clown, and there's only 5 eggs. But what I'd really love to do is show people or show the world the super bang clown. But yeah, we will see. And then the clutch after that is also another clutch, which is potentially a keeper clutch, which is again an Exantic DG clutch. The clutch I've just cut was a pairing between me and Michael MKR, and that was DG pied stuff. So again, these next 3 clutches are kind of some interesting stuff. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff due. I think I've got a female laying or about to lay as we speak. That was a Hurricane Het Clown to an OD Mojave Fire Clown. So yeah, we've got some stuff coming through.
Nice.
It seems like, and I know I said this last year, that my season was late last year. I think it's even later this year, and it's crazy because I did give everything an extra month to feed up, which is on me, but it just seems like it's just everything's taking its time, everything. And I don't know whether it's because I'm in a rush to see stuff hatch or whether it's a bit of both. I don't know, but it seems to be.
How many clutches have you got cooking at the minute?
We're on clutch 13, so 3 have hatched and come out. So there's 10 clutches in the incubator.
Nice.
So yeah, 3 are out. We are on clutch 3, which is the video which will get released tomorrow night.
Okay.
So
is that the DG pied tomorrow?
No, the clutch tomorrow is just a Het Clown clutch, but it also includes Black Phantom, which is there's some of the eggs perished in there, which I left. So it's a bit of an educational video as well. And yeah, there's an interesting combo in there. So you guys will have to definitely tune in for that. So we've got, who have we got in? We've got, Will's Hella Heat. Just jumped in. Alex Westwood. He said his season's running about 6 weeks later than last year. Steve Walker also said my season is only really just starting. So yeah, K and C have said they've got a few females laying. So I think
it is got a female currently laying.
Sorry. There we go. So yeah, nice. It's weird because I've just had a female going to she's just done a pre-lay shed, and it's 30 days on average for her to lay eggs, and then you've got 55 days of incubation period, artificial incubation period, let's say.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to Toby from Morph Matrix this morning, when I told him there's 85 days until they pip from now, it's like 85 days, because it's 30 days from the pre-lay shed, and then obviously it's 55 days till they hatch.
Yeah.
So 85 days. It's crazy when you think about it like that. So
nice.
North Penn Balls, good morning. Greg is waiting. According to Greg, I've only got one more girl to lay from CLC Pythons, and I'm done 6 clutches this year, paired 7. Congratulations. Will, I have 1 already hatched, and 2, maybe 3 should be laying soon. Awesome. Looking forward to that.
I've just Phil has just let me know that there was a bad echo on the stream. So cheers for that, Phil. Appreciate that. I think it was actually my end. I think I had the speakers too loud. I've actually moved my speakers. So my speakers are here and my microphone's here, so it's a clear shot, whereas they used to be over there. So I think I'm going to have to move them back. But thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I haven't got the... no, everything's clear on my end, I don't think. I haven't changed anything, so...
No, it'll be the speakers. I had the volume quite high, so you were obviously getting picked up on the snowball.
Okay. Rilo Pythons, good morning. Eden Morphs on day 52, hoping maternal pip soon, hoping frost double het puzzle het hypo. Wow, sounds awesome.
Nice. Do you know what? I like the frost gene.
Yeah.
Nick has showed quite a few combos off within the community, and it really cleans animals up and brightens them up nice. It's definitely something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I've got a hypo frost female, and I wasn't going to pair her this year, but she went up to about 20 mil follicles. So I thought, I best pair her. So I've paired her to an Castellenci Pos Hyod Ivory Het hypo male.
Nice.
So it's mainly just to see whether he's got Hyod. I think he has because of his colours. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I've got to go upstairs after this. I did quick checks this morning. I had to put some blue tags on everyone. I've got about 6 that are all in shed. I think I've got 3 or 4 that are shed out.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of maintenance to do up there this morning, just getting everything spick and span.
Yeah, that's cool. Always crack on with them.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you got to stay on top with stuff like that. Like yesterday, I think Mel was here and she was doing the whole back rack and the hatchling rack for me while I was ultrasounding. I ultrasounded 2 female racks yesterday and just went through them, obviously spot cleaned them and stuff, just to see where stuff is, because there's no point keep pairing a male if a female's not going to build. So again, just keeping track of what's going on. But I'm finding with this heat, a lot of males won't lock. I know it's meant to rain tonight, so I'm in 2 minds whether to do some feeding tonight or whether to do some breeding. So we'll see after we've ultrasounded some more girls. We'll definitely see. Yeah. We've got Phil said that's cleared up pretty quick, which is awesome. Robbie's talking TS. I have a female who's just ovulated. It's my first ever clutch. I'm excited. Yeah, congratulations, Robbie. I'm pretty Robbie. I'm pretty confident it won't be the last. That's for sure. Will, this one needs a shout out. Joined the band club a few weeks ago, Gavin. Absolutely awesome, Will. Drop me a message. Let me know what you picked up.
What a bang it is as well.
Is it? I haven't seen it, mate, to be fair.
It is.
I haven't seen it.
On point. So as I was talking to Will last week, I think I was talking to him. And he was showing me, because Will's got quite an interest in the migraine as well.
Yeah. I know he's got some migraine stuff or one.
No, he's got an interest in it. He wants to get it in because of the purity and line bred, that it's cleaner.
Oh, okay. I thought Will picked one up.
No, he was looking at getting one, but it's sold pretty sharpish. So he was talking to me about the import-export costs in stuff over here.
Yeah.
So instantly I put him straight onto yourself and Michael for the migraine stuff, because I know both of you got some really interesting migraine stuff coming this season.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Go on.
I was just going to say it's good that, morph market now, with Scott and Wolfie doing the import and exporting, we've got a local market now. So breeders abroad can take the UK seriously and start buying from the UK as well. So it's nice to see someone from the States paying an interest to the UK.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. The UK is definitely going to be a place to watch, definitely this year, with stuff that people are hatching, and I know the pairings that are going on. So I think the UK is definitely going to be the place that people abroad need to pay particular attention to, because there's a lot of stuff we're doing over here which hasn't even been thought of in the US or in Europe. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So I am excited for that. I've had a few inquiries about bang stuff this year from abroad. So I know there's people out there who are after the bang, not obviously in the States. There are other people in the States who are actively working with the bang project. Ken Masick is one of them. I know he's got a bang clown up for sale. Obviously Sterling Nelson, the originator of the project, he's got some stuff. A couple of my friends have got into the bang project as well. So there's plenty of people in the States, bang stuff going on. But I've had lots of inquiries from different parts of the world, Indonesia, and all that, them sort of places regarding the bang project. So again, just trying to educate and help people. But I have put a bang clown male up for sale. He won't just be going to anyone. I want him to go to the right person. I've got 3 bang clown combo males. So I've decided to let one go, but obviously I want to make sure it goes to the right person. So yeah, I think the bang project has got so much to do. So but we'll see.
Nice. That's what I'd like to hear.
And obviously the migraine stuff as well. For me, I think it's head and shoulders above the cryptic and the inverter. I'm not saying they're not any good. I'm just saying the quality of the line bred. And again, now we know there's polygenic traits. Like again, what I've been saying for years, we've got polygenic traits within our ball pythons, but a lot of people overlook it because they're looking at morphs. It's important to line breed stuff because of the quality, and that's just the reality. And we're going to start seeing that a lot more, I think, with the genetic testing coming through. I know a lot of people are probably tired of hearing about DG genetic testing and all that sort of stuff, but I'm excited.
It's a hot topic, isn't it? It's a massive move forward for the hobby, the industry.
Yeah.
Ben said it was the most requested test to date.
Yeah.
Was DG. So I think it's shocked a few people, worried a few people as well, rightfully.
Yeah, I think I did an Instagram live and I showed a quick rundown of how to look at the DG so far, what we know. I had a telephone conversation with Ben from RGI, and we ran over some stuff. I've enrolled in the DG program. The email come through yesterday, so I'll be sending off 2 sheds from my 2 animals. So the original DG that me and Ben looked at, that we kind of both agree that he's potentially a super or a homozygous, and then his offspring. I've got one of his offspring, which again looks different from the granddad, because it is his granddaughter. But they are straight DGs. Now, the good thing about it, like I said, we can get them tested, and we'll be able to see if the granddad is actually a homozygous. And then we'll see if the daughter or the granddaughter that I've held back is actually a homozygous A, het B, or homozygous B, het A.
Nice.
But I do believe I have hit, from that pairing, I have hit other homozygous animals. Kay and Chris, I believe, have got one. I sold them one, which again, as they grow and they get older, you see the change. So because I haven't got any other genes attached other than a heteroxanthic, it's not like it's got a pastel or it's got like an enchi or a fire, which is going to make it look better and brighter. They're pretty much straight DGs. The grandfather, the original male, is a straight DG. So they'll be able to use that as a starting block and see what's what. Because when I was talking to Ben, they've tested over 300 DG sheds around about 100 of them has come from Canova. So the question I said to Ben was, are they all produced from one line of animal, i.e. Justin's done all the breeding, or has Justin brought them in and then bred them to each other, which is again, you kind of want a bit of both. You want to be able to track a lineage and be able to track where this like a certain lineage. So like the original male I have, and checking his offspring and their offspring, and then you want to be able to have different data from other people's collection. So it'll be interesting to see what the new results yield. And I know a lot of people are talking about DGC, but I think DGC, if it was that prominent, I think it would be there. It will be as bold as A and B. I think DGC is going to be like a little switch, something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens regarding the whole DG stuff. But I definitely feel that the line-bred animals, hence why I believe the migraine is a better quality animal because of the line-bred history of the animals. I think it's going to be important for those who want to work with the cryptic / migraine project. Look, I'm not saying there's not quality cryptics out there. There are, but you want to make sure that you are going for the best version you can buy. And that's with anything, Mac, you want to be able to buy the best version
100%.
of 100%. Enchi, Pastel, Clown, Pied, whatever you're buying, you want to make sure you're buying with the best you can get, because it will definitely pay you back in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think people forget as well that when they look at their holdbacks and they're keeping something back, they're keeping stuff that is aesthetically the best looking. So they are keeping better looking animals back. So whether you think about the polygenic traits or the phenotype and how an animal looks, people keep that back without thinking about what they're doing.
Yeah,
but, they're constantly improving the lines.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and I think that's what's important. That ultimately, you want to be able to, what's going to set your collection apart from everyone else's is the quality of the animals. And it's not about how cheap you're making stuff or producing or selling it. It's more about the quality. And I think a lot of people in the hobby are moving towards quality, and that's why a lot of people have gone, well, no one's buying snakes. Well, they are. They're just being very selective with what they want to buy. Ask yourself, and we've said this before on the Patreon when we've talked about the lives, are you working with the best example, or are there other people's examples out there which is head and shoulders? Yes, it may cost more, but not being funny, but you are paying for the visual difference, or you're paying for the lineage. It's like I had someone approach me about a pied male, and the pied male I haven't put up for sale yet, but he asked me if I got any, and I said, yeah, I've got one. I said, it's the original Gene-X, Pastel Gene-X pied. I said, he feeds and he breeds. He's made some amazing babies for me, and they've gone on to make some amazing animals as well. And, he was kind of umming and ahhing because there was a guy down the road that was, he'd got like a pastel pied, and it was like half the price of mine, and I just said to him politely, I just said, look, if it's a budget you've got to work with, then unfortunately, obviously, the one down the road is a lot cheaper,
Yeah.
But what I will alliterate is there's no BS behind the animal that I'm letting go. In fact, I don't mind keeping him because he's such a fantastic feeder and breeder. He's bulletproof. So, you've really got to weigh up the odds, and it's important to make sure that yes, you may pay a bit more for a combo, but where's it coming from? Who's it coming from? What's the lineage? All that sort of good stuff. You know, you really, in this day and age, you really don't want to be buying with your price tag. That's for sure.
The expression of an animal is so much more as well. You could have two genetically identical animals, but if the expression of one is far superior to the other, it's going to carry that price tag. So
yeah, definitely. And again, that's why, you know, I've said for years, you can look back at any of my videos that we've spoken about polygenic traits. I've said this for years. Polygenic exists in our ball pythons. A lot of people were just shrugging it off.
I think it'd be naive to think it doesn't when it plays a part across the animal kingdom, humans through everything. It's there. So and you know, we know that it's in other snakes as well. So why wouldn't it exist within royal pythons? They're not an anomaly. Well, I can't even speak.
Yeah, anomaly.
Anomaly. That's the one. So. We all do it. You know, we look at the animals, we keep what we consider the best looking animal back, and that's working on the visual expression.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, definitely.
One person that's going to be paying particular interest to the visual expression is going to be Steve Walker with his double hets hitting the ground. Tri-stripe to a Mojave Pastel Orange Ghost, 8 pearly whites.
Wicked.
Nice. K&C Dinker clutch hatched, but was a disaster. But due another 2 clutches to pick this month. Fingers crossed they go well.
Yeah, that Dinker clutch. They sent me some pictures. It's very unusual. The babies almost look exantic looking, but it's very unusual. So it's exciting to see that.
Nick at Hellfire Morphs. Nick, you need to change your name on YouTube. We're not Eden Morphs.
It's got Eden Morphs.
We're not Eden Morphs anymore. Come on, get on it. We're at Hellfire Morphs. His Enchi Inferno Fader is smashing food paired to an Ajax Enchi Trojan. Trojan hit my radar last week, so it did. And I like it. I like it.
I think going back to polygenic traits, I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think Trojan, Mandarin, they potentially could be polygenic traits, but you know, Pastel could be a polygenic trait for all I know. You know, until they get them tested. It's just weird how some Trojans look amazing, and some just look, you know, they're all right. And I think again, that's why I'm thinking maybe Trojan is polygenic. You know, Mandarin, again, I've seen some Mandarins which look amazing. And, you know, there's some that look, again, questionable. But I think, you know, it could be that the Mandarin is switched on by the hypo. You know, it's that sort of platty daddy gene that works in that context. Who knows? And this is where genetic testing will obviously help us a lot. But the Trojan project is definitely interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was. I was speaking to Ryan from Rivals and then Nick as well, and both of them have got some interesting stuff going this season. Whilst we're on the topic of genetic testing, Jordan JM Royals, he shared that Danny Cosgrove is adding hypo to his testing arsenal. So I think it's the start of August-ish. Danny will be offering hypo testing, and the price is circa £60.
Danny's in the UK for everyone.
That's what I brought it up for. So that would be good. Genetic testing is definitely moving forward for us over here. It's becoming a bit more readily available. So we're looking forward to the upcoming news from other testing facilities. Will from Will's Hella Heat shared. Charlie, I can't remember. Will, you'll have to drop the link in. So there's someone else in the States that's doing it as well. Comes in a little bit cheaper than RGI, but they obviously don't offer clown. RGI are keeping the monopoly nice and tight on that one. So X-Balls, my pied clutch has all shed out now, and half has had their first feed. Just struggling to ID them. If anyone can help me, X-Balls, jump onto the Discord. We've got a channel in there. It's under about Royals, and there's a combo ID page in there. Just chuck all the pictures up in there, and the community will come to your aid.
Yeah.
Jake,
yeah. Kerry, good morning.
There's a few to catch up here, isn't there? Our 8-ball project slugged out last week. Sorry to hear that, Greg. Gosh, 2 of my males just won't lock. Was going to ask if the heat makes them lazy, or there you go, Gav, one for you.
Yeah, I've noticed that when the heat's here, they tend not to lock. They tend, obviously, to prefer. They like the air pressure to be completely different to when it's warm. But some males and females will go on and lock. It's not a definite, but I have noticed if I pair on a warm day, only 20% will lock, as opposed to what would normally happen, which would normally be close to, 80 to 90% would lock on like a colder and more rainier day, or because obviously the barometric pressure, the air pressure is completely different. So, but yeah, the warm weather does hinder the locking process. And again, I've tried raising the humidity in the tubs, which does help, but it's definitely the outside air pressure which is telling them what's actually going on and what season it is and what time of year it is. So they aren't stupid animals, that's for sure.
No. Jacob Python Junkie, anyone use foot powder for eggs that look mouldy in incubation, or do you just let it be?
So there's two-ended question to that, because I've spoke about this before. There's 2 reasons why eggs will mold. One is because of the embryo dying internally, and it will die internally and go outwards. And you'll see that from the video that's being released tomorrow on my channel. But also what will happen is when we pick up the eggs and we put them in the egg box, if we haven't cleaned our hands or used a sanitizer on our hands, I normally use viper venom, spray it on my hands, which is a cleaner, but it's an antibacterial as well. I'll clean my hands and then I'll pick the eggs up and put them in the egg box. Then if you've got a bacteria on your hands and you pick it up, you put the eggs in the egg box, then obviously it's acting like a petri dish, and you're basically cultivating bacteria. So that's why it will grow. My advice: I've never used foot powder ever. I just tend to, back in the day, if that would happen, I would tend to wipe it off, and I would tend to get away with it. Wipe it off every other 2 days, 3 days, whatever. They would end up going through okay because it's obviously on the outside of the egg. But yeah, the trick would be to obviously make sure your hands are disinfected before you pick them up and clean, all that sort of good stuff. But I know a lot of people use foot powder.
Things like that kind of scare me, because foot powder is to treat athlete's foot, isn't it? And obviously kill the bacteria. But it also dries the area out. So with the eggs being porous and absorbing moisture, would that not then hinder the development of the eggs?
This is the thing. You kind of think that way. However, what it's doing is it's drying the surface out. But if you think you've raised the humidity in there to 99% humidity, obviously because the eggs need that high humidity, the foot powder doesn't cure it straight off. You probably will have to go in there 2 or 3 times through incubation period and just dust it on. But yeah, it's one of them. I mean, a lot of people are scared about getting water on the eggs, which I was kind of guilty of that. I was like, why are people worried about water dropping on top of their eggs? So the first clutch of the season that I did with Mel over at Mel's Morse / MJ Designs, they started to deflate, and I thought, how can I plump them back up? The humidity in there was 99%. So I was like, how can I plump them up? Because obviously, the fluid inside is going, it's disappearing. So how can I plump them back up? So what I did was I got a spray bottle of water and I left it in the incubator so it got up to temperature. Then what I did was I started spraying the eggs directly. Yeah. So I was misting the eggs. And the eggs started to plump back up. The eggs started to plump back up, and you saw it. And so I continued with that over the last, let's say, 3 weeks, 2 weeks of the incubation period, something like that. That's 2 weeks of the 3 weeks of the incubation period, and they all hatched, no problems. Now, who's to say that they wouldn't have hatched okay anyway? I don't know, but there's another prime example that a lot of people are worried about putting, water dropping onto their eggs because it will create mold and bacteria. It doesn't. I sprayed them and they plumped back up, and I was able, in my mind, to save them, because if they hadn't had that type of misting, so where the water could dissipate into the egg, then I feel that maybe they wouldn't have made it. Now, I don't know. Maybe I was completely off. Maybe they would have made it. I don't know. But certainly I didn't want to take that risk. So the eggshell is porous, but in my mind, it would act as a filter as well. So if there was any nasties in that water, the water that's in there is treated anyway. It would, if there's any nasties in there, it wouldn't allow that. But what it would do, it would take on the water enough to start filling the egg up from the inside, if that makes sense. Yes, the humidity is high, but we wanted to get water inside the egg just to plump them up a little bit so they wouldn't dry out on the inside. So now I keep a spray bottle in the incubator. If any eggs start to go that way, then I'll just spray them and it just starts to plump them back up. So there's a little tip, a little trick. And again, as we said before, a lot of common myths that people stay away from. No one really knows the answers. They just go, oh, yeah, you don't want water on your eggs. Why? Well, I've heard it sends them bad. Okay, have you seen that? Have you found that out for yourself? Do you know that, have you got the data for that? Oh, no. It's just something I read on a Facebook forum. Well, where have they got that information from? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's all that stuff that you're thinking about that you go, well, hang on a minute. We're raising the humidity to 99% and the eggs are still deflating. So there must be a problem on the inside where the fluid is dissipating so fast that, they need that fluid to grow and to thrive inside that egg. So being able to directly put water onto the eggs and watch the eggs start to plump back up, that for me was evidence enough to say that what I've just done worked. So
YouTube vents, good morning y'all. Prestige, good morning. Greg's becoming reps, morning folks. Ian, breaking news, Steve is now sold.
Oh dear.
Going to his new home in the next week. I know you all wanted him and would love him in your collections. Sorry for any upset you may be feeling. Well, we wish Steve the best of luck in the future, and we hope going forward he learns to lock.
Yeah.
Good luck, Steve. LKB Pythons, what up, early birds? Good morning.
Cool.
KNC are waiting for theirs to go into shed. Mark Prue, good morning. Smash that like button. Go on, 17 likes. Graham Moore, good morning.
Ooh,
Cracking balls, good morning.
You know
Sorry,
what? I'm running behind with the old banners this morning, ain't I? Smash that like button, guys.
Craig from Cracking Ball's been buying food fighter tickets. Get in. What a gig that will be. Love that. Nick says, Craig, that should be a great gig. Cracking Balls, we lost last summer due to the death of Taylor Hawkins, so I had to get in the queue again this morning. Hope you got your tickets. Will's Hella Heat, so going back to the talk of buying quality, Will's paid more for hets than he can buy visuals because the quality is far above on some of these puzzle animals. Steve Blake, good morning. Isla from Reps Becoming Pets. In Hoggies, a lot of the traits are polygenic as they aren't that many genes to start with. Jason from Underground Genetics, good morning, Squire. Those quad hets Gav shared yesterday, my God.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Gravy he used to work for Ralph Davis back in the day. And people like that, when you kind of, that they've been like Gravy was a massive part of Ralph Davis's stuff, and he used to do a lot of stuff. And then people like that disappeared. Like there was the guys from Reptile Radio that disappeared. I forget the names now, but I was talking with Ozzy, and it's great to see some of the old cats come back, and to see Gravy breed some of Ozzy's quadhettes to quadhettes and hit the quadette, I was just like, so it's crazy.
Jason, you was quiet last night on the live. LR Python / Constrictors. How's it going, Gavin Mack? Hope you're well. All good here, Squire.
Good morning.
Isla, Reps Becoming Pets. Currently, our Orange Ghost is locked up with a Blackhead Mojave Lemon Pastel Red and Ringer 66% Het Orange Ghost. We're hoping he proves out. Fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. X-Balls, you're welcome for the advice on the Combo ID channel. Will's Hella Heat, Billy in I wanted to say California there, Canada, has got cryptic testing now too. That's nice, interesting news. MJ Designs. The next order of this month, so I'm guessing that's the LP order. I did see a message.
Yeah, so LP will be closed for pretty much July. So there won't be, if you're in the UK and you're looking for LP stuff, unfortunately, the cutoff date was yesterday, I believe. 27th. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. So the cutoff date was yesterday. And yeah, we won't be able to order anything in next month because obviously LP being on holiday. So the next order will be the end of August.
Yeah. Mel does say that a little bit further down. So you beat me to it then. But yeah, she says there'll be an order placed in August. The Scots have had a lot of rain this week. Defo feel it helps. Yeah, I've just seen it, Mel. Thanks. Gav's beat me to the pip there. Mel's just messaged me. Read further down. There will not be an order being placed in July due to LP holidays. The next order after today will be the end of August. Yeah, Gav's beat me to the pip there. So the Scots have got a lot of rain, hoping the snakes lock in. The joys of living in Scotland. Nick was shattered. Jason was shattered. Long day at work. Lorga GS Certo, good morning. From Portugal to all your crazy rich people with snakes. I don't think we are rich financially because we spend all the money on snakes.
Yeah, we're probably snake rich, but that's about it.
Yeah, snake rich, yeah. Let you off, Jason. Thanks. Yeah, Mel's comment there. It's bang. Hate being late, but better late than never.
100%.
Mel, Pete Foster's going to email you. He needs some tubs. Jake Green, are we discussing the IHS this morning or leaving that topic? At the moment, there's nothing to discuss. Unfortunately, we had a nice venue. We no longer do. Great. Let's hope that the IHS can find a venue that's equally suitable. I think.
Yeah, I think they definitely pulled it out the bag with the Marshall venue. I think it was Marshall Arena. I think it's fantastic. Obviously, it's out of our hands. They have, it won't be going ahead in September, but they do have some other venues. So hopefully, we can still get a IHS breeders meeting. Yeah. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the venue was absolutely awesome.
It was. I think it was one of the best shows in recent years, in my eyes. it was superior to Donny as well. They have said on their Facebook they are looking to sign contracts this week, so further information will be shared going forward regarding a September show. So they are working hard in the background to try and get a September show. So fingers crossed that they can do that.
Yeah.
Mel, thanks Pete. Morning Mel. Would it be worth getting the HET DG tested as well, Gav, from K&C Royals?
Yeah, because here's the thing. You need to know what you're going to pair. So this is going to be not necessarily the problem, but I think this is going to be the way I will be moving forward. I'm going to want to know what lineage my DG stuff is, okay, and what that produces. If I then pick up a het from someone else, I'm going to need to know what that is, because that will then decide what I pair to that female. Now, and I'm fairly confident, and Ben's fairly confident, if my original male proves out to be a homozygous, then the het that I buy is it doesn't matter. Yeah. But if I'm using a homozygous A with a het B, or a homozygous B with a het A, I'm going to want to know what het I'm breeding, or what het I need to buy. So I think it's... I'm not saying you've got to go that way, but I think for you to produce the better quality DGs in that project, you're going to have to be realistic, and you're going to have to go, do you know what? I'm going to start working to make towards the homozygous DGs. And a lot of people go, oh, look at my DG, it's amazing. But then it's got pastel, enchi, fire, yellow belly in there. And you're like, well, I can't really, you know what I mean? Those other genes are kind of influencing the DG stuff. So it's always important when you're working with a project to show the base animal, because that's the lineage, if that makes sense. So it's important to know what you're working with. So yeah, it's one of them. I think it's down to individuality. I know if I was to place a DG up for sale and it came with paperwork to prove what it was, as opposed to someone selling a DG with no paperwork, what would you buy? What would you steer towards? So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Berlevag. You left that one for me, didn't you? I know you did.
Yeah, I did, mate. Sorry, guys. Can I cut out? I'll be back in one moment.
Yeah.
Just Mac, it's over to you. Enjoy the names.
Yeah. Thanks, Berlevag. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Berlevag. Hope you're well. Jake Green at the airport today. I don't like being full screen. I don't like it. Will's hello. Jake at the airport today. 3 shipments landed. Hope all goes well and was a little bit smoother than last time, Jake. Eric, good morning. Let's get the likes up. We have 44 people watching on 21 likes. We've got 27 likes now. Thank you, Eric. Gavin, we'll come back to that. Will. LKB, seeing some of KRG Kavalash combos at a friend's place. Wonder why haven't really a lot more thoughts. Seeing some of that, I imagine that's for Gav. We'll come back to that. Eric's up early. Raven Royals, good morning. X-Balls, you're also going to message Mel. Jake Green, did you read what someone said about it being escaped snakes in a hotel? At the minute, that is all hearsay. So the hotel and the venue were 2 separate entities. So I don't know. I don't know. It could be, unless the IHS want to inform the membership, there's not much more we can do on that. You've got 45 minutes X-Balls. Come on, guys, get them orders in. Stan from Sea of Serpents, good morning. Greg's becoming reps 100%. We would like to know what DGs we buy. We currently have none in our collection at the moment. Good morning, evening, by the way, Mac and Gav. I don't even know if I say it right, but Berlevag. Is that right? Berlavag. It's got to be. It's got to be. I don't even know where are you from, Berlavag? Let me know. Caesar's Royals, good morning. What ratio of males to females in your snakes do you recommend, or isn't a matter? So we're just getting started here with our collection, really. It's our first year breeding. Gav is a good believer in backup males. Now, I don't think he means a backup male for every female, but definitely having backup from Norway. I nearly said Norse as well. But Gav, he has backup males to go in place where other people so we will take that backup male for every project. That is a good point. Gav, Gav talks about compatibility within snakes, and not every snake is compatible with every other snake. So it's interesting. Got to run, KC. No worries. Hope the little superhero is okay. Send him my love. Oh, he's left me on my own. I'm not good with this. How's what do we talk about? I'm feeling the pressure. I ain't gonna lie. Backup mail for every project.
I'm back. Sorry.
I was rambling. I'm not gonna lie.
Mate, you brought in more viewers. That's what we like.
I'm not gonna lie. I was rambling.
Well, let me jump back in. What anything I can help with, Mac? Or
yes, there is.
Have you got it
a
in
few
control?
Things. No, there is a few things. We found out Bervalag is from Norway, so I nearly said Norse as well.
Oh, okay.
So there was a couple of things. Will's hella heat. Gav, in your bang collection, have you noticed two different colours? Now, what he means by that is in the one he's got a really nice peachy, bright, vibrant colour, which has come from bang to bang. So he got it from the person that Sterling passed the project on to. And then others, they are still very bright, but they are more yellow, not as vibrant. Will, you'll have to let me know if I got that right. I'm sort of summarising from our conversation the other week.
Yeah, so what I've noticed with the bang is it gives a more golden tone. Yeah, so when you're looking at an animal, a bang animal, it gives a more golden tone. Ozzy was here the other week. Obviously, we were looking over because he helped me import them. He actually saw them as hatchlings, and we looked at them now as adults and sub-adults. And again, his words were, they're not Orange Dream. Now, there are, when I say a colour difference, I would say there is, if we're talking about tones, I would use the word gold and yellow, because I have seen, like, within the babies, you'll obviously get expressions of that. So you can get a more golden yellow animal and a less golden yellow animal. But on top of that as well, you can also obviously get the expression side of things, which obviously will the het side of things. Sorry. So if your animal's het clown, it could be potentially a lot brighter than another one. Like one of the females we got in, she was, I think she was either het clown or posset clown, or it was a male, one of the two. But it was super, super bright. Like it was crazy. Now you can't mistake a super bang for a bang, because a super bang is just on another level. But I wouldn't say I've seen different colours, but they do carry like a golden yellow tone to them. So I don't know about a peach tone. If they were bred, if Enchi was in the mix, what I've noticed with some genes, and again, this is why I've spoken before about polygenic traits. If you breed an Enchi within a pairing, you can actually get normals which pass off some of the orange from the Enchi, and you can look at them and go, is that an Enchi or is it a normal? Yeah. And then we've seen it before back in the day. Me and Steve Walker were talking the other day about leopard siblings. Back in the day, we used to go, oh, it's a leopard sibling. So in other words, it came from a leopard. It looks leopard, but it's not. It's a normal, but it's got kind of characteristics from the leopard. And again, polygenic traits. Yeah.
Yep.
So it could be that if another animal, whether it be pastel, enchi, yellow belly, fire, has been in the mix in a particular pairing, that sometimes the offspring can come out looking a bit like a fire or an enchi or a leopard, but you're kind of on the fence. You're going, if that's a fire, it's not the best example. If that's a leopard, it's not the best example. But it probably isn't. It's just an influence from the genes that we're working with. Again, polygenic trait. So there's a lot to understand from the pairings and what you do and how you breed stuff and what you're looking at. And sometimes it can be very confusing if you struggle to ID things. You may look at an animal and go, yeah, that's an enchi. Someone buys it, breeds it, and goes, actually, that's not an enchi. Me and Ben were talking about enchis in particular. And, some enchis will give a green tone, especially if you get the super form of that particular line of enchi. And some will have more golden expressions. So, again, we know there's different lines. There's going to be different lineage of different mutations that we're working with. But we've also got that polygenic trait that we have. And sometimes in that pairing, if that bang animal had a particular gene attached, like enchi or yellow belly, then that trait from the enchi or the yellow belly may just rub off a little bit onto the bang, which will give it a different tone. So that's why it's always important to know the lineage, the pairing that made the animal. And even the grandparents sometimes, where did those animals originate from? That's why a lot of my stuff, I tend to do like single gene to single gene to try and emphasize the quality of the lineage and then use those animals to then put into my projects. So a bit of a long-winded conversation.
No, it's good. Then the next one was from Caesar's Royals. What ratio males to female in your snakes do you recommend, but doesn't matter? So I went into, you are a firm believer in backup males, and then Will said a backup male for every project rather than a backup male for every female. Because I don't know what your specific ratio is, but I do know you are a good believer in
you can't always get backup males. And this year I've been a bit low on the ground with males. However, the backup male thing is, and again, I've spoken about this before. We have what's called compatibility. Yeah. If your animals are not compatible, they won't breed. And a lot of people think, oh, it's easy breeding ball pythons. I'll breed this to that and I'll make these. Well, if the compatibility is not there, it ain't going to breed. So how do you know if it's the male or the female? Well, the simple answer is you put another male in, or you put the male with another female. That's how you're going to find out the data, which will tell you whether or not the male is not interested, or whether the female's not interested, or whether it's a compatibility thing. Because if you put another male in there and they lock, there's two reasons for that. Either compatibility, or the male that you've just put in knows more what he's doing, and he's giving off that, that the scent and the impression that he's ready to breed. He's going to be the man, you know what I mean? He's getting into that tub like he's the dude. So it's important to understand and have the ability to add a different male to see whether or not it's a male thing, a female thing, or a compatibility thing. So backup males are definitely key.
Yeah. Nice. Kate and Chris have had to run. The little ones have having a bad morning, so I wish them best of luck and to pass our love on for the little one. Isla's had a few people ask about taking animals to ham. Who's the best person to speak to about that?
What was that again? Sorry.
So Isla and Greg from Reps Becoming Pets have
I see the comment. Yeah.
Have had requests for animals to be sent to ham. Who's the best person to speak to for exporting to ham?
It'll probably be Wolfie's Royals. Drop Tom a message. At the moment, that's the only people I know. I'm sorry if there's other people out there doing it. I just don't know. Obviously, if you guys want to drop me a message and you are exporting from the UK into ham, I'm happy to give you guys a shout out. But as far as I know, it's only Wolfie's Royals at the moment.
Yeah. Kerry Stinson's had a bit of a blow. So genetic testing is great, but her entire DG plans have been ruined for her because Caramel albino popped up into her collection even after she sold up and brought unrelated DGs and imports. Beyond gutted. Can't imagine how that feels.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Again, if we look at lineage, and this, because a lot of people, when I spoke about lineage, again, it kind of fell on deaf ears. But when now this DG thing's come out, and I mentioned, I can't remember if it was I think it was a post that I put on the Discord. I think it was on the Balls to You Discord, and I put that I was giving people advice what to do, how to look out. If you're going to work with the DG stuff, my advice would be to this, and this. Just don't be scared of it. There was a couple of, or one person sort of was going on about saying, I don't think lineage is really a thing. Words to them effect. It is a thing, because if you look back where a lot of stuff has come from, it's mainly the Bell stuff, which came from the DG stuff. So like Cryptic came from DG. I remember looking at an animal, a DG animal. It was probably, I want to say, close to 10 years, between 8 and 10 years ago now. And they posted a picture, I forget what it was on. And guys, it was a DG Cryptic. A DG Cryptic. Then we didn't know what Cryptic was, right? It was a DG Cryptic. And I commented, I said, look, I think this animal has more. And they were like, no, it's just a DG. It was a DG to a het DG. It came from the Bells. I know where it came from. They got nothing else in there. Well, looking back now, it was actually a DG Cryptic. And we now know that Cryptic has popped up in a lot of DG stuff, which came from the Bells. We also know Lace potentially popped out from the Bell DG stuff, which then means that potentially looking at the migraine stuff, where that came from originally, could have come from the Bells. When we look at it back and we trace it back, I'm pretty confident Chris Jones writ on his website about the migraine that he had some animals from the Bells, something like that. I may be wrong, or he traced it back to the Bells. But what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of animals that have come from a particular lineage that we don't even know. We kind of lost track of where they've come from. So it's very gutting when you've tried to stay away from a project and you breed two animals together that you've got unrelated from different areas, and they pop out something that you're trying to avoid. And if we put it on the flip side, if we were testing animals and selling them with a genetic test, that may help us choose what animals we put together and what animals we pair. Because if I know I'm pairing an animal, let's say I've done an all-in-one test and it's coming back, oh, this animal is caramel, and you're trying to avoid that gene, then you kind of know that, well, hang on a minute, yeah, maybe we should avoid that then. Because obviously the tests are expensive, and I get that, but like anything else, the prices will come down, and I genuinely believe they'll be at a price level where they'll be relatively affordable. But it's a shame that has happened. But again, looking at lineage, and I know Kerry's been in this industry for a long, long time. And I know Kerry does her homework and all that sort of stuff. But this just goes to show, even with someone as vigorous and within it as Kerry's, this thing can still happen. I still think like lace and splatter are very similar, if not the same, because again, where it's come from. And again, the only way we're going to prove that out is either breeding trials or genetic testing. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, but there's a lot of people popping out stuff because, like again, they found out that all the hypo stuff are all compatible. And back in the day, people used to go, "Oh, orange ghost is different to peach ghost, to green ghost, all this sort of stuff." It's all compatible. If it's hypomelanistic, it's compatible. Now, there are people out there who are saying, "Yeah, but I've got this line of hypo which isn't compatible." Okay, is it really a hypo? It looks hypo, but if it's not compatible, then there's a question mark. So, look, there's lots of good stuff out there, and I think it's interesting to see what way we go forward, and it will definitely change how we do things as breeders. But that's not a massive problem. You know, it's not the end of the world sort of a thing in my head, anyway.
Yeah.
I went off on a bit of a.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's all information for us all to sponge up. A lot of people have got it for Kerry, understandably. I'm guessing by Dale's comment, he's been stitched up on the sex ratio. He only hatches out males. So I'm guessing the odd gods of not being particularly kind to Dale. Texoma, good morning, Holly. Hope you're well. Will's Bang was a Bang hepide to a Bang hepide. So Bang 66% hepide. And it came from, he did put it, Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons, I think is what that is.
It'd be interesting because, again, sorry, just jumping in.
Oh, you're right.
So what I noticed with some hepide stuff, it does give a slightly different look to the animal. And we know that we can see, you know, if your animal's got track marks or a ringer, a lot of people use ringers as an ID het marker for pied. Justin openly said on one of his videos, I can't think which one it was, but he said that all the ringers that he held back for animals that he thought were het pied actually wasn't het pied. I brought an animal off Justin. It was a blackhead het ultramel posset pied with a ringer on. And then when I brought it, it was mainly for the ultramel project. When I brought it, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get it tested. And I got it tested, and it's 100% het pied. So again, Justin's done multiple breedings using, you know, ringers, and he's not produced pieds for him. Majority of them haven't produced pieds. So there's lots of stuff that can have the influence. So it could well be that Will's Will's Bang animal is potentially het pied, hence why it's probably got a different look to it. So it's probably 100% het pied. So
yeah. Dale with backup males, his first het puzzle clown male lost his hemipenes overnight. He was a female. The second wouldn't lock with anybody, and third finally got the job done. Sometimes it takes a team.
Yep, 100%.
Just more in the arsenal. Holly giving Will a shout out. Isla saying thanks. They'll give Tom a shout out. Jeremy from Sea of Serpents is here. Stan is here. Sorry, Sea of Serpents. Jeremy is Bowed Exotic Reptiles. Good morning. Look at this. It's brilliant. And everybody from the States all waking up, catching each other.
All waking up. Yeah. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Here on the British Royal Breakfast Show. You know what? It's brilliant to have you all here. So
smash that like button, guys. I will be attending. I've got some breaking news. My passport has come back, so I will be attending Tinley this year, guys. So it'd be great to see you all at Tinley. If you're going in October, it'd be good to meet you all in person because I do appreciate you guys overseas as well, because I know I don't get a chance to see you or speak to you very often. So when I go to Arlington, Tinley, wherever, Canada, it's great to see you guys and have a catch up and a chat.
Nice. Will says he thought Chris said his splatter migraine was a wild caught import and the only one not originated from a Bell line DG.
Sorry, whose was that comment?
1036. Will's hella heat.
I thought Chris said his splatter migraine was wild caught import and the only one not originated from the Bell line.
Bag. I got one female het DG. Don't know what to do with her anymore. Plan was breeding her next season. Dale's come straight in there with he's carrying on as normal DG stuff. I'm in the project now, so I'll just continue with my plans. And I think at the moment that's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
look, I'm still continuing. You know, I've got potential DG Pieds that have hatched. I've got potential DG Exantics which are coming. I'm still going to work with that project. It's just going to change the way I do things moving forward. Now, I feel sorry for people who have got most of their collection based on DG. But again, for those people, you know, regarding, I don't want this to sound like I'm being a moron or critical or making it in a horrible, nasty way. But when I'm helping Patreon members with their pairings on the upper tiers, and a couple of them have said, "Oh, I want to do DG Clown." You know, this was before the whole DG thing. Everyone was doing DG Clown. Everyone's jumping on the DG Clown. I have potential double hets. Yeah. So I said to them, I said, look, why don't you look around, look at some other projects, you know, and maybe try and stay away from the DG Clone project at the moment, because a lot of people are going to be doing it. If you still want to do it, it will be more to choose from, readily available, and the prices will obviously be a lot more competitive. And I had a few messages from those people, and we put them on a particular, what I feel is a great project road, and that those two people actually messaged me saying, Gav, thanks for, you know, not steering us clear of DG, but thanks for rerouting us, because obviously now this thing with DG, if we'd have concentrated on spending all that money on DG clown stuff, we kind of would have been kicking tires now. And I don't think the project itself is, you know, DG's not finished. It's not like that. But we've just got to be realistic. You know, there's people who had DG animals sold, and then the people have pulled out the sales. So it's not like I'm trying to bash DG, because I'm not. I love DG. I like, you know, I want to do DG Pied combos. You know, that's originally why I wanted to do DG Pied, was for the Bang project. But is it going to change how I do things? Of course it is. It's going to then reevaluate which way I'm going to take the Bang project. Am I going to take it into DG? Yeah. Is it going to be straight away? Probably not. Not until we've got the testing there. So we've got to be realistic about it at the end of the day, you know, and, you know, it is what it is.
I think at the moment, the testing isn't a negative thing. Having more information doesn't change what's happened previously. You know, if you put a DG to a DG, you're still going to get DGs. You know, it hasn't changed what's happened. But what it is doing is it's giving you the tools and the options to enforce what you're selling. You know, it's definitely not a negative thing. You know, I haven't been around the block enough to make any sort of real informed decisions on this, but from a sort of outsider looking in, all I could see is that temporarily the DG product's stalling, and then once things are more, once things have been explained a little bit more, or the testing's that honed in a little bit more, it's just going to go up again. You know, if you can buy an animal that you know 100% is this and this and this, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And like I said, it's a reality thing. There's a lot of breeders out there going, oh, it changes, nothing. I'm still going to do DG. That's great. It's fine. However, those people who, and I wouldn't say are trying, look, it's not about scaring people. It's about being real. There's people out there going, oh, it's not going to change anything for me. I'm still going to do DG. Yeah, that's great. But I'll guarantee you, if Justin posts a video about lace clowns, people are going to go lace clowns over DG clowns. That's just the market. The market will decide if people are unsure, the people who are buying the product, if they're unsure about the project, they're going to hold off. So it doesn't matter how confident you are as a breeder, nothing changes for me. I'm still going to do DG. It's not, that's fine. If that's for you, great. But if you're doing it and it's a business and realistically, you want to sell some DGs to buy some other stuff, then be prepared to hold on to those DGs, because the market will dictate how the project goes. And that's just reality. It's not, I've got DG stuff. I'm holding back DG stuff. I'll be holding back more DG stuff now, but that's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah. Kerry's got some really beautiful double recessive DG combos, but sellers didn't declare het, post het caramel, and one knew she was buying because of the caramel, and they produce caramel from theirs. It's a game of trust, isn't it? You've got to take the seller's word, and this is probably where genetic testing can have the benefits.
Yeah, and look, with all due respect, and I'm not saying, I'm being honest and upfront, and sometimes this puts a target on my back, but this is reality. There are breeders out there who know the truth, but they choose not to declare the truth, because if they declared that part of the truth, you may not want to buy their animal, and they lose a sale. So it's purely driven via money.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. Some people may not know. Some people will say, oh, this animal came from a completely different animal, and it's got nothing to do with like the bell stuff or whatever. It come from out of Africa. Did it really? Really? Or was it handed to you from a person that said they got it from Africa and really it wasn't? It was captive born and bred in the US. You've kind of, unless you physically go there and handpick that animal, I think it's very difficult. I had a pet shop that I brought a couple of imports from. One of them was the white cider. He looked like a yellow belly. I swear he was a yellow belly. I bred him to my original female, and she had 14 babies, 14 eggs, one slug. 4 of them were calico-looking animals, right? Now, I didn't buy it as a calico. I brought it as a wild import, captive hatched in Africa. So it was imported into the UK. But I looked at it and I thought it was a yellow belly. However, it's produced animals which are, in my eyes, calico, right? Now, can I prove it's a calico? No. Genetic testing, possibly when they got that, yes, I can. However, I've named it white cider because I can't sell it as a calico because I didn't buy it as a calico. So if I sell it as a calico and someone tries to make a calico combo and it doesn't make the calicos, the calico combo, then I've missold something and I really didn't buy it as what it was. So I've been open and I've been upfront and I've said, look, this is a white cider. I think it's calico. This is how it's working. These are the combos. This is what it is. It's my lineage, if you like, right? So what can happen, or what has happened in the past, is people have brought in stuff from other breeders, and they may have been told a story that it came from an animal that came from the wild, all that sort of stuff, and really hasn't. And it's come from somewhere else, and actually the story was wrong. And all of a sudden, you've got this new gene that pops out, and it is what it is. It's a line of yellow belly, or it's a line of, cryptic and migraine are the same, or banana and coral glow are the same. It's just come from a different source. So we keep the lineage. Like if banana and coral glow are the same, I'm not going to change everything to banana. I'm not going to change anything to coral glow. I brought this as a banana, it'll be sold as a banana. I brought this as a coral glow, it'll be sold as a coral glow. You know, so just keeping track of the lineage is important. So there's a lot of breeders out there who may have give misinformation due to what they've been told, or may know where their animals have come from, but they don't want to disclose it because they want to cash in on this new project that has just spontaneously combusted out of their collection. So
yeah. Will's gone and done a bit of research, and he says, never mind, Chris's splatter came from a phantom-looking snake from Ralph Davis. So that's got that done.
And Ralph Davis got a lot of his stuff from the bells, by the way.
Yeah. Will says, so you're not leaving the hobby. That is great news.
Who?
Will says that at 10:42. So Will's been in my inbox wanting to make sure you're okay, Gav.
Oh my God.
And it was really sad news to hear that you're leaving the hobby.
I might as well tell everyone I am leaving the hobby. I've decided to take the leap and leave the hobby and turn balls to you into a business. So I am leaving the hobby, but it's only going to be because I want to make a business of this. I want to make it, it's my dream. I never thought when I was like 13 and I was walking into my mate's dad's breeding facility, seeing all these snakes in vivariums and rodents in cages and stuff, that I'd be doing it as a full-time occupation, but it is turning out to be that way. So I am leaving the hobby. I've still got my hobby heart and my hobby hat on, but I want to give it a go, and I want to help people, especially in the UK, to turn their hobby, if it's their dream, into a full-time business. So yeah, that's the reality of it, guys.
Will's going to be straight in my inbox giving me the daggers. Do you know that? I've had to put him off. I've had to put him off. You'll have to wait for the video. You have to wait for the video. I have to wait for the news.
Yeah.
Holly says, hell yeah, man. This is my first year for Tinley.
Yeah. Roger,
you can ignore Roger. He's a personal friend of mine. I've known Roger for a very long time. And when I give a big smirk a couple of minutes ago, that's because he messaged me to say he was watching.
Oh, cool.
Great show, lads. Keep up the info. Thank you very much, Roger. Andy from Candymania is playing catch up this morning. Great thing is we're live on YouTube. You can go back and watch it all from the beginning.
Yeah.
Cuddle time, critters. Good morning from over the pond. Good morning, Statesiders. We have got a fair few Statesiders in this morning. Thank you all for joining us. Will says, whilst everyone else is doing DG, he'll be putting Trojan and lace together and make the world's first Trojan lace. Can I name the project DG Killer?
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I think, again, looking at different stuff, guys, do stuff for yourself, make some different stuff, and really, get your teeth stuck into those really unusual projects. I think is definitely the way forward.
Dale at Casting Strictures, information is key. I sat on Stranger till he knew it wasn't mahogany. Now he knows he's made the plunge. Knowing is half the battle. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Kevin, good morning. Sugar Skull Serpents. Morning, Kevin. Jay Green, do the projects you want to do for you. I've got so many things in the pipeline, but everything I'm doing is the stuff I want to produce, not following market trends.
Yeah, I think that's important as well. Again, looking at it from a business aspect, hence why I've got into a few more different projects, because as a business, you kind of look at it now from a different aspect. However, there are still projects. Most of my collection is based around my projects. Yeah. There's been, like I said, the odd 2 or 3 that I've just recently brought in. Puzzle, DG clown stuff. From a business aspect, it is what it is. So working for yourself, as in doing the projects for you, is highly recommended by myself. That will give you the passion and give you a lot of foundational knowledge to push forward and then learn as you go. So I think it's the right thing to do. And I've seen so many people jump in with so much money, spend lots of money, and they just don't make it past 5 years.
Yeah. Will says, not leaving the hobby then, just making your hobby a business. Scared the hell out of us.
Sorry, Will. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm just, like I said, you know, I love the hobby. I love the industry. I'm in it for the long game. I'm in it for the long game.
Snake Station, nice of you to join us. They've had a lie-in this morning, Liam has. Joining late, good morning, everyone. Liam, jump back, watch the video. Make sure you leave a comment and like. Help Gav out with those analytics. And more of the stateside all greeting each other as everyone over the pond is waking up, which means it's getting on for us then. The more stateside coming in. Greg says, good morning with the business, Gav.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll keep everyone posted on what's what, but yeah, it's exciting times. I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous, but everything's in place, everything's going right. It's registered, all that sort of stuff. It's done correctly. You can go and look me up on Company's House and see it all there, legit, which is weird. But yeah, it's all good. It's all going forward.
So can we expect some sort of behind-the-scene videos, some vlogs or stuff like that?
Yes, I wouldn't say I'll be doing a full-time vlog, but what I will be doing, which is something I've wanted to do for a while, is do like a day in the life of a reptile breeder, which I know has kind of been done before, but I wanted to give people, you know, a reality check that when I come into the HQ, I'm not here to play with snakes. You know, it's business, because there's stuff I've got to do now as a business that I've got to implement, which you wouldn't really have to do as a hobby. So stuff like, you know, be registered with a vet, have monthly health checks, certain things, stuff like fire extinguishers, all that sort of stuff. Commercial waste, everything is being done to the T. And everything now, when you purchase an animal from me this year, from this year's clutches, you will see a completely different side. You'll have different paperwork. It'll all be above, obviously, not above board, but you know what I mean. It'll be different, which is something that I'm excited for. Not going to lie, I'm excited. So
decent. Look forward to the updates on that. It'll be interesting to see, nonetheless.
Cool.
Right then, I think I am going to say good morning and bid you adieu. Thanks for everyone joining in. Next week, we've got teacher strikes here in the UK.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you'll be here, Gav, but I certainly won't. I'm going to have to be... I don't think it's called childminding when it's your own kid. I'm going to say childminding anyway. Brian Cusco in the house. Gosh, it's early.
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Is he one of your mates, Gav? I've never heard of him.
Brian Cusco, mate, he's definitely a brother from another mother. He's Brian. Mate, guys, if you don't know Brian, give him a follow, please. Help him. He does need some help on his YouTube channel and on his Instagram. Brian's a good guy. Hopefully we can get him into the UK soon. He was due to come over this year, but obviously with him having another little Padawan, another little baby, he's got his hands full at the moment. So, it's awesome.
Yeah, they definitely take up the time, don't they? Do the
100%.
Right, I'm out. Take care, y'all. See you on the next one.
See you, everyone. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great breeding season. Take care wherever you are. Obviously, again, I will be in Tinley this year, all being well. So, yeah, hope you're all well, and we hope to see you there. Take care, everyone.